Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about all my favorite summer products. You know, it's about that time of year, so I figured it'd be something fun to talk about in a video. But first off, let me just apologize. My voice is kind of raspy because the way I react to allergies is I produce a lot of mucus, and so sorry, you guys probably didn't want to know that, but yeah, I produce a lot of mucus, so yeah. The first thing I'm going to talk about, and I always talk about this, I'm not going to talk about it too much, is MAC Liquidlast Liner. So this is what it looks like. You guys know I'm very, very oily. I have a lot of problems as far as like oily skin, oily eyelids. If you're going to go to the beach, if you're going to go to any pool parties, you know, Vegas has all their little pool parties going on and stuff, then if you want your eyeliner to not run, just get a bottle of this. You're not going to regret it. You're going to need an oily eye makeup remover to take it off though, but if you're going to go to any summer pool parties or, you know, get thrown into the water randomly, you know, it happens once in a while, just grab a bottle of this, you're not going to regret it. So next thing I'm going to talk about is my favorite sunscreen to use, the Shiseido's Ultimate Sun Protection Lotion for face and body. I get it in SPF 55, but honestly, the higher SPF you go, it's not actually really that much better for you. I know people want to believe that it is. I think the lowest that's out of clear is like around SPF 15 or so, but anything higher than SPF 35-ish really doesn't make much of a difference, but this is just the one that I have on me. I've used this, you know, for 4 to 6 years. I've used this ever since high school. You know, lasts a really long time. It doesn't feel greasy like how a lot of sunscreens do, and it doesn't smell like sunscreen, so, you know, I've used this for forever. It lasts a really long time. I probably had this bottle for around 2 years or so, and I still have quite a lot left, so I think it's a really good investment. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my favorite eyeshadow. This is MAC's Amber Lights. Actually, a lot of times when you guys ask me about what eyeshadow I'm wearing, usually this is somehow incorporated in there. You guys can see it's really, really pretty and pigmented, bronzy, little bit kind of orangey, I guess, color. A lot of people said that, like, oh, you know, when I wore it, it kind of looked a little bit too orange. That happens sometimes. What I do is I just make sure not to bring it up too high. I don't want to bring it up too much farther than my crease, because if I bring it up like too high, if I bring it up like all the way to here, where my crease would be if I had really like huge crazy eyes, I find that it does definitely look a little bit too orange and rusty and kind of greasy looking, and so yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. But that's my favorite eyeshadow to use during the summertime. I use it in a smoky eye, use it as an all over lid color, put it all over the lid with some silver dabbed onto the ball of the eye. Everything just looks really good with like some colored liner. It's the perfect all over lid color. It's definitely one of the colors that I reach for almost every single day when I do wear eyeshadow. So next thing I'm going to talk about are my favorite blotting tissues now. Generally speaking, I just use the Japanese drugstore ones just because they're bigger and they're a lot cheaper, but recently beautylish sent me these. If you're not aware of what beautylish is an online community. You know, a lot of bloggers and YouTubers are on there. I'll leave them linked down in the description box, but they sent me these in a packet, and these are these TATCHA Japanese beauty papers. Basically, they're just blotting papers, not anything too crazy or special, but they're definitely a little bit expensive. They are, I think, $12 for 30 sheets, but you'll see why when you open it. So I have the one with the little blue lining. I've noticed that some of them, when I try to research them online, had different colors. And so this is what they look like. They even have like pieces of gold flake inside. You guys see that? The gold flake, isn't that crazy? But yeah, I mean, I think they're super pretty and they work really, really well. I'm not a big fan of blotting paper that actually has powder on it because I just think it's kind of gross. I really feel like if you're oily, you should get the oil off and you shouldn't be, you know, caking on a bunch of powder to get it off your face. I really like them though. They're just the perfect size. I also like how Japanese blotting papers are a lot bigger, but like I said, these are definitely more expensive. They're about, you know, the $12 for 30. I'm not sure where you would buy them in stores. I saw a bunch of them on Amazon, but I'm probably going to pick up a pack or two once I run out of these. But I really like these. I just think they're so pretty. Kind of bourgeois, but, you know, what can you do? So last two things I'm going to talk about that I really love this summer are two blushes. The first thing I'm going to talk about is this Dior Harmonie Deep Blush in number 2 Coral Riviera. So this is one of my favorite blushes of all time. I first saw Fuzz Kitty with these, and I was like, oh my god, it's really expensive though. I think it's around $45 before tax, so it's really expensive. And then once I saw it in person, I just got it anyways because it's seriously one of the most beautiful coral, flushed, bronzy colors you could ever see. So it kind of comes in this mosaic like this. I just use a round stippling brush for mine. Or I can just use a regular blush brush too, just to pick up all the colors. I mean, you can use the colors individually if you want to, but I just mix all the colors together and put it on my cheeks, and it's just such a beautiful color. It actually has a little bit of a design on it in gold when you first get it. Once you first touch your brush on it, it just goes away instantly. That little design doesn't stay around for very long. So last thing I'm going to talk about is this Stila blush in Dance, and this is what it looks like. It's like a pink with a little bit of coral to it. It's kind of not really picking up how it looks. There you go. That's kind of more what it looks like in real life. But it's just the prettiest pinky coral color. The first time I got this blush, I didn't really like it because I felt like the texture was kind of weird. If you can see, the texture is kind of powdery. So I wasn't a big fan of that, but I love the color. The color is so pretty and it's really pigmented. I actually got this at a Nordstrom Rack for around $4 or $5, something like that. It definitely was really cheap. And then I just had to buy the Stila pan separately. They sell their eyeshadows and the pan separate. It's weird. This has to be one of my favorite colors of all time. Sorry, I keep tilting it because the color's not really showing up how it looks true to life. So, I mean, the texture is a little bit funny and I feel like it takes a while to appreciate this blush, but it's such a pretty color. I don't know. It's a really pretty color. I really love to wear this for an everyday color. I feel like it's a really good youthful blush, you know, just the color is a very, you know, just had my cheeks pinched, you know, face flush kind of color, so I really think it's really pretty. This as well has got to be one of my most favorite blushes of all time. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the texture, you know, but for $5, you really can't ask for much. So that's it. Those are my favorite summer products, so I hope you guys have a nice summer, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.